time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, KCAL 9 presents the Dodgers as they take on the San Francisco Giants. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. It's the Giants and the Dodgers. The Dodgers walking off easily last night, 9-1, and now looking for Game 2 with a start by Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw going up against Ryan Vogelsong, and Kershaw, as usual, very impressive credentials. First of all, last year, he beat the Giants 5 times without a loss. He's 6-1 lifetime against San Francisco. He comes in here having won 12 straight at Dodger Stadium without a loss, and for that matter, one other note, he has won 10 in a row. So the Dodgers 5 in front of the Giants. Pull up a chair. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. pleasant Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers at home against the Giants on a beautiful summer's evening. And for the Dodgers, trying to win their 20th game, trying to make their home record 12-2, which will put a smile on Don Mattingly's face for sure. His ball club 5 games in front of the second-place Giants. For Mattingly and company, they lead with their ace tonight, Clayton Kershaw. For Bruce Bochy, he has a ball club that's lost its power. It has not hit a home run in its last 6 games, has just 2 home runs in its last 9. So here is the Giant lineup for tonight. Angel Pagan will be in center field, and Ryan Theriot at second base. Melky Cabrera in right field batting third. Buster Posey goes back behind the plate and hits cleanup. Brett Pill is in left field. Joaquin Arias will be at third base. Brandon Belt takes over at first. Brandon Crawford is the shortstop, and Ryan Vogelsong on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw with a rather remarkable set of numbers, even for him. First of all, he is 2-0, an ERA of a little more than 2.5. But more importantly, he has won 12 straight at Dodger Stadium. He also has a streak of 10 consecutive victories here and on the road. Last year, he not only beat the Giants 5 times, he went head-to-head and beat Tim Lincecum 4 of the 5 times, and he is 6-1 lifetime against San Francisco. For the Giants, let's face it, as Pagan will lead off, they're hurting. Brian Wilson, their closer, out with Tommy John surgery. Pablo Sandoval broke the hamate bone in both hands. He's a switch hitter, and the knob of the bat got him both times. Aubrey Huff is back. The pitch to Pagan is low, ball 1. For Pagan, trying to get them started on the right foot. Huff left the ball club near the end of April with an anxiety attack, but he apparently is over that, we hope. Pagan fouls it away. Just to add to the discomfort of the Giants, Jeremy Affeldt was fooling with his little 4-year-old son, and the 4-year-old son dived at him. Jeremy tried to catch the boy and sprained his knee. Then, of course, we found out about Guillermo Mota yesterday. The 1-1 pitch pulled sharply at third, backhanded by Uribe, who throws to Loney for the out. So Pagan, who had a 20-game hitting streak snapped last night, is now 0-for-6 in the series. Take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. Rivera, Kemp, and Ethier, and the infield, Uribe, Gordon, Ellis, and Loney, and the battery of A.J. Ellis and Clayton Kershaw. So Ryan Theriot coming up. Guillermo Mota got a 100-game suspension. He is appealing. Here's the pitch to Theriot, and that's on the plane for a strike. Guillermo says that he was taking a child's cough medicine that contained a drug which was frowned upon by baseball. The next pitch outside, 1-1. So put it all together and you have the Giants struggling, and yet with all the struggle, they're in second place, 5 back, and they have Tim Lincecum tomorrow night against Chad Billingsley. The 1-1 pitch on the way, lifted to right center, high enough for Kemp to cruise over, and on the run, one-handed for the out. And we have 2 down in the first inning. The batter will be Melky Cabrera. It's a beautiful evening, 68 degrees at the start of the game. In looking at Bruce Bochy after a disastrous game last night, I remembered a manager for the Giants, Dave Bristol, back in 1979 and 1980. And the Giants were struggling then, and Bristol made an announcement. He said there'll be 2 buses going to the ballpark. Cabrera, meanwhile, takes low, ball 1. Dave said 2 buses to the ballpark, a 2 o'clock bus for all of those who need extra work. The empty bus will leave at 5. So I think maybe Bruce could easily have borrowed a page out of Davey Bristol after last night's game. He was so disgusted about the performance. Bruce Bochy summed it up by saying it looked like we missed spring training. But it's just one of 162. The pitch now to Cabrera, in for a strike, and the count 2-1. For Barry Zito, it was a fine pitching duel involving Ted Lilly. Barry never gets many runs to work with anyway. Meanwhile, a little flare caught by Ellis, and that'll do it for Cabrera. And for the Giants, they go 1-2-3. So at the end of half an inning, Giants nothing, Dodgers coming up. Made only 10 pitches to retire the side in order. Now we'll take a look at the Dodger lineup. Dee Gordon starts out at short with Mark Ellis at second base. Matt Kemp hitting third in center field. Andre Ethier clean up in right field. Juan Rivera is in left. James Loney, who perhaps saved the game last night, is back in the starting lineup at first base. Juan Uribe with a tricky wrist, but he's still playing third. A.J. Ellis doing a remarkable job behind the plate. Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound for the Giants, Ryan Vogelsong, 6'3", 215-pounder. He'll be 35 late in July, and he's from Charlotte, North Carolina. Big Ryan ready. The right-handed delivers, and Dee Gordon takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Gordon hitting .227 with a home run, 8 runs batted in. If he gets aboard a threat to steal, he's stolen 12 out of 13. And the pitch is in for a strike, and the count 0-2. For Dee Gordon, besides his stolen bases, he's been somewhat erratic at short. He's committed 9 errors. Vogelsong, who had Tommy John surgery back in 2001, comes back high, ball 1. Ryan is quite a story. I mean, he originally signed in 1998 with the Giants out of Kutztown University. He lives in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, about 60 miles from Baltimore. Ground ball wide of first, up with it there, and the throw to Vogelsong is too late as Dee Gordon beats the play at first. So Belk spotted the throw, but Gordon winning the sprint, and for Dee an infield single on a ground ball to first base. Vogelsong speared the throw. It was behind him, very close, and Gordon wins what was almost a tie. Vogelsong had to grab the throw a little on the back of his numbers as he was going to the bag. That took one step away from him, and that one step was the difference. So Gordon has himself an infield single, and the batter now is Mark Ellis. Ellis hitting .267, 4 RBIs. As we mentioned last night, Mark has done exceptionally well when the bases are empty. However, maybe he has a different mindset when he comes up with men on base, because then he has struggled a bit. But of course, he's also an ideal number 2 hitter, very patient, a confident hitter who doesn't mind getting deep in the count if it can open the door for Gordon. Vogelsong set, watching Gordon, now to the plate, and a high inside fastball for ball 2. That fastball was clocked at 92. Mark hitting .226 against right-handers, but he has fattened up, hitting .333 against lefties. So Gordon off the bag, bottom of the first inning, no score. Ryan Vogelsong out of a stretch. Redding comes back, and it's fouled off, and they count 2-1. For Ryan Vogelsong, when he played baseball during the summertime, he was a walk-on at Kutztown, and he was a backup shortstop. Then he became the starting third baseman, and then two pitchers suffered broken arms during the first week of the season, so that's when he became a college pitcher. 2-1 pitch, instead a throw to first, and Gordon diving back. For Vogelsong, he was an All-American honor in a Division II. His pitching ERA 1.4, and we also wearing out college pitching with the bat. Then he spent 3 years pitching in Japan. Ryan out of a stretch, another throw, and Gordon back. In fact, Vogelsong, after 3 years in Japan, when his wife became pregnant with their first child 3 years ago, he decided to come back to the United States. The Giants picked him out of Kutztown. The Pirates send Jason Schmidt to the Giants, going after Vogelsong. The next pitch, a ground ball wide of third, down to the shortstop for one, over the first double play. The reason the throw went to the shortstop, it was the shortstop breaking on the ground ball, and Brandon Crawford, that's one of those rare 5-6-3 double plays. So they're turning it, not on the bag, but finally got there, and then Crawford flipped it over. So it's a different double play, but it worked. And with two out, the batter is Matt Kemp. So 5-6-3. Two down in the first inning, and here's Matt Kemp, who's been wearing out the Giants. Matt hitting .406, so he's been wearing out everybody, as you probably know. Vogelsong delivers, and it's fouled away off to the right, and the count 0-1. As far as Ryan Vogelsong is concerned, in his work against Matt Kemp, Kemp is 3 for 9. Ryan gave up a home run to him. So Matt batting .333 against the Giant pitcher. 0-1 the count. Matt waiting, has a look at the next pitch that misses, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Ryan Vogelsong, when you're going up there to hit, you're going to get a good fastball. He's been clocked as high as 94. He has a pretty hard curveball, a slider. He throws a cutter and an average changeup. He's also been throwing a splitter of late, though we'll see what he does now. 1-1 the count to Matt Kemp. Vogelsong deals a little ground ball to short. Crawford is up with it, gets it over the first to Belt, and that's that. So thanks to the unusual double play, it's time for Clayton Kershaw to go back to work. And at the end of an inning, no score. Be Posey, Pill, and Arias against Clayton Kershaw. You might have heard the explosion in the American League today. We'll tell you about it in a moment. Kershaw delivers a line drive, base hit into left field by Buster. So Posey, who played first base last night and was a little shaky at the position, is back to being a catcher and hits the first pitch into left field for a base hit. Josh Hamilton of Texas, absolutely wild tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. 4 home runs and a double. The 16th 4-home run game in Major League history. He had 18 total bases. Here's Brett Pill, right-hand batter, hitting .265. First ball swinging, drives it deep to left. Back to the wall goes Rivera. It is gone. So Clayton Kershaw, who for the first time in his career gave up 3 home runs in his last game, surrenders a 2-run home run here in the second inning. For the Giants, their first home run in 7 games and their 3rd home run in 10. And just like that, they're on the board, leading 2-0. For Kershaw, surprisingly now, he has allowed 5 home runs. Also, the Giants are not waiting. They're not getting deep in the count. Posey hit the first pitch for the single, and Pill hit the first pitch for a home run. Kershaw deals, and the first one is low and inside to Joaquin Arias. And Arias almost had a perfect night last night, except for Matt Kemp. The 1-0 pitch on the way is sprayed foul upstairs off first base, and the count 1-1. So Pill hits it out, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Giants. By the way, the Giants have at least 1 extra base hit in 48 straight games now. Arias, right-hand hitter, swings late, fouls it back, and the count 1-2. Last night, Arias hit one into deep right center. Matt Kemp made a wonderful running catch as he went into the wall, and then Arias singled in the 4th, singled in the 6th, doubled in the 8th. So Kemp prevented him from going 4 for 4. The 1-2 pitch golfed at and missed. Ellis has to go over and pick it up, and the out recorded at first. So Arias badly fooled, swinging wildly at a pitch way out of the strike zone, and we have an out. 2-0 in favor of San Francisco. Last year, the Giants and the Dodgers split their 18 games. And to give you how close they've been, over the last 10 years, the Dodgers have beaten the Giants 94 times. The Giants have beaten the Dodgers 92 times. Brandon Belt, a big swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Brandon hitting .278, 5 runs batted in and out of the lineup. He's done pretty well as he takes inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Brandon Belt, this is the first time this year that he has started a game, he's a left-hand hitter, against a left-hand pitcher. And Bruce certainly picked a great one to start him against. Big curveball is in for a strike. Brandon quit on it, and it dropped into the zone. 1-2 the count. Belt, a good hitter at home, struggling on the road. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled away. Brandon Belt at AT&T Park, he dials the right number. He's hitting .310 up there. But out on the road, it's another story. He's hitting only .240. Belt batting .278. Kershaw delivers, and he is down and dirty. Belt is a big Texan, lives in Lufkin, Texas. Giants picked him out of the University of Texas, and when he was in high school, he threw a couple of no-hitters as a pitcher, but he takes the next pitch down and away, ball 3. So Kershaw, a first pitch single to Posey and a first pitch home run to Brett Pill. Then he strikes out Arias, and he goes all the way to Belt. Clayton's fastball is off the plate. Bad follow through that time, so Kershaw is fighting his rhythm. That fastball was 95, but it was not that smooth, easy delivery. He came hurtling off, lost his balance, and almost turned his back on home plate. So Clayton Kershaw stung by a 2-run home run, trying to get a little something extra, couldn't do it. Walks Belt, and with 1 out, here is Brandon Crawford. Crawford batting just 198. The left-hand hitter swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. It is obvious that Bruce Bochy, after I'm sure a lot of thinking, decided to go with the better defensive team than the team he had on the field last night when he had Gillespie playing third, Posey playing first. So he goes the other way tonight. Posey behind the plate. He moved his shortstop Arias over to third. He plays Crawford, who doesn't hit much, but certainly is a fine defensive shortstop. And he's already been given a 2-0 lead. Brandon Crawford ready, swings and fouls it back. Tonight is UCLA night here at Dodger Stadium, and they have someone else to root for besides the Dodgers, because Brandon Crawford was drafted by the Giants out of UCLA. And he broke in last year. His first major league hit was a grand slam home run against the Atlanta Braves. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way, and it's high and away. That was at 93. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up here, several pitches, and I'm not talking about the home run, but Kershaw does not look like he's pitching. It looks more like he's trying to throw as hard as he can. Clayton out of a stretch, a look over at first, and the 1-2 fastball, and that's going to be dunked to center for a base hit. Kemp picks it up, and stopping at second is Brandon Belt. So a walk followed by a single. With 1 out, the Giants are still very much in business. And the batter now will be Ryan Vogelsong. Vogelsong with the bat. First thing he does is check with Tim Flannery, coaching at third. Vogelsong is 0 for 7, and he has struck out 6 of the 7 times. He has 1 sacrifice, and you would have to believe he's going to try to sacrifice. The Dodgers think so. Both Loney and Uribe are up. So Belt and Crawford out on the lines with 1 down. Crawford deals. Vogelsong pulls the bat back, and it's ball 1. Ryan again looking down to Timmy to get the sign. Coaching at first is Roberto Kelly. You may or may not remember, Roberto played for the Dodgers back in 1995. Flannery, of course, was a fixture in San Diego. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Kershaw check, ready, the bunt is on, but Clayton backs off the rubber. In the inning, Posey hit the first pitch for a single. Hill hit the first pitch for a home run. Arias struck out, but Belt walked on a 3-2 pitch, and Crawford singled. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Vogelsong gets the bunt down. It's a good one, picked up by Ellis to throw him out. So the sacrifice works. So the Giants, leading 2-0, have runners at second and third, 2 out, and a good hitter in Angel Pagan coming up. Angel Pagan out of Puerto Rico. We were talking about him last night. He's not only a solid all-around ball player. During the offseason in Puerto Rico, he spear fishes without any scuba gear at all. Well, Angel waiting, batting .254, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in, and he takes the strike, and the count 0-1. Pagan, a switch hitter with the right-handed Terrio on deck. Pagan hitting .258 left, .250 right. 3 of his 4 home runs hit right-handed. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Giants, with 2 out, have their 7th man come to the plate here in the second inning. They've scored 2, and they have 2 in scoring position. Pagan grew up a fighter. I mean, he spent a lot of time in the canvas ring. He loved boxing. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Kershaw's neck swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. In fact, Pagan not only boxed, he loved to watch Felix Trinidad, and boxing became his whole life. But finally, after it got him into great shape, he decided he'd better go baseball instead. Angel Pagan, 6'1", 180. He'll be 31 in July, originally drafted by the Mets back in 1999. Right-hand hitter at now. In the crouch, bent at the knees and waist. Pitch in the dirt. Nice save by A.J. Ellis. Last night, it was a rare night for the Dodgers. Ted Lilly had 2 wild pitches. A.J. Ellis had a pass ball. Broke the strings on his mitt. He makes a great block of a breaking ball in the dirt. So the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. 2-0 Giants. Pagan waiting, and Kershaw from a stretch. The left-hander ready, and the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Pagan. However, the Giants get 2 and lead 2, and at the end of an inning and a half, Giants 2, Dodgers nothing. The Giants a 2-0 lead, and now in the bottom of the second, it'll be Andre Ethier, followed by Juan Rivera and James Loney. Ethier hitting .278, 6 home runs, 30 runs batted in, and Ryan Vogelsong about ready to work to him, and into the second inning we go. Vogelsong, both feet on the rubber, just turns, and the tall right-hander comes over the top. Fires a little low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Andre Ethier hitting .333 against Vogelsong, but he hasn't batted much against him, just 1 for 3. 1-0 the count. Vogelsong back. Andre fouls it away. We mentioned a little while ago that Josh Hamilton hit 4 home runs. He also had a double. 18 total bases and 8 runs batted in. There were 16 players who have hit 4 home runs in a game, 2 of them before 1900. But after that, most of the names you're very familiar with. The 1-1 pitch, and Ethier probably bangs it to the gap in right center, and it's going to go to the wall. Well, Andre on his way into second base. There's no cover man there, so he goes in standing up with a leadoff double. So Ethier trying to lead the Dodgers back with a line drive double. His 8th double of the year. So Andre, 8 doubles, a triple, and 6 home runs. Mr. Extra Base. And the batter, will be Juan Rivera. As far as the 4 home runs, people like Lou Gehrig, Gil Hodges, Willie Mays, Mike Schmidt, Shawn Green. The most recent prior to Josh Hamilton tonight, Carlos Delgado. And a note about Willie Mays, 4 home runs. Willie, by the way, just turned 81 Sunday. Out of a stretch goes Vogelsong, works his hitter Rivera, gets a strike, and the count 0-1. Willie Mays, when he hit 4 home runs, was on deck when the Giants were retired in the top of the 9th inning. That was April of 1961, though he almost had a shot at a 5th. The strike 1 pitch on the way. Vogelsong delivers inside, check swing, and a strike called, and the count 0-2. Hamilton has a double with his 4 home runs. Mays, the only major leaguer to have had both a 3 triple game and a 4 home run game. The remarkable Willie Mays, who, by the way, has had some great years as far as RBIs are concerned and never won an RBI title. You know, Willie back in 1962 had 141 RBIs and never led. 0-2 the count to Juan Rivera. Giants lead 2-0 in the 2nd inning. A look back by Vogelsong at Ethier, and the next pitch is foul back, and the count stays 0-2. Another note on Mays. One year he hit 17 home runs in 1 month. So just as Jackie Robinson's name will forever live in Dodger history whenever and wherever they play, so certainly the great Willie Mays, his name is joined at the hip with the Giants, both New York and San Francisco. And by the way, his number is the reverse. You know, Jackie Robinson's number is 42, and I just realized that Willie Mays' number was 24. Willie Mays, everybody called him Buck. No balls and 2 strikes to Rivera with James Loney on deck. Giants lead 2-0 on a 2-run home run by Brett Pill in the 2nd inning. So here's Rivera hitting .244, 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Vogelsong has trying to kept the ball right on top of Rivera, trying to prevent him from extending his arms, and Juan's been able to foul him off. Talking about the hardships that Vogelsong had, among other things, he suffered from Bell's palsy. Have you ever heard of that? Well, it's a virus, and it paralyzed the left side of his face. Here's the strike 2 pitch, and Rivera fouls that one away. A fastball up at 92. So Tommy John surgery, Bell's palsy, didn't get any attention coming out of high school. His friends wanted him to play softball, and he said, no, I'm going to give it one more shot. I'm going to play American Legion ball. Eventually, the Giants signed him in 1998. Here he is. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Rivera takes in the dirt. Posey, a nice play, pushing the ball out in front of the plate, and Ethier holding at second base. When Fernando Valenzuela had those great games for the Dodgers, if you were here watching him or on TV, you remember he always looked like he was looking up underneath the bill of his cap. Remember that mannerism of Fernando? Here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on, and a drive to center, playable. Pagan goes back, makes the catch, and Ethier alertly tags up and goes to third. So Rivera a long out to dead center. Ethier now at third with 1 out. Well, the reason we bring up Fernando looking apparently underneath the bill of his cap, Ryan Vogelsong certainly in his younger days used to write important steps to his delivery under the bill of his cap. So he would look up there, not while in the act of pitching, but to remind himself of certain steps. We used to always kid saying if Fernando looked up under the bill of his cap, there was an arrow pointing towards home plate. So one away, Ethier at third, 2-0 Giants, bottom of the second inning. And here's James Loney. Vogelsong works the pitch low, ball one. You know, there are a lot of tough jobs in baseball, especially late in the game when they ask you to go up and pinch hit. But probably as tough a job as there is in the game is being a defensive player late in a game. Usually the pinch hitter has a chance to hit some balls off a tee, but suddenly they turn and say, get a glove, go in there. And that's what Loney's problem last night. And he made a dazzling play with 2 on and 2 out on a ball hit by Hector Sanchez, which would have knocked into and put the tying run at second base. It was a great moment for James because he also celebrated his birthday yesterday. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way, and Loney takes low, ball 2, 2-1. Giants lead 2-0, second inning, on a 2-run home run by Brett Pill. Tomorrow night, the final game, Chad Billingsley for the Dodgers and 2-time Cy Young Award winner Tim Lincecum. Lincecum started off the year wobbly, but he is right on the beam right now. 2-1 to Loney. James swings a drive into left center. Pagan on the dead run can't get it. It's going to bounce up against the wall. The run will score, and James with a belly whopper into second base, and it's Giants 2, Dodgers 1. So Ethier doubled to right center, Loney doubles to left center, and the Dodgers now trail by 1. It's 2-1 San Francisco, and with 1 out, Juan Uribe coming up. Dodgers have 3 hits to go with their run. Giants have 2 runs to go with their 3 hits. Uribe with a troublesome wrist. We're still not quite sure the disposition of the wrist. He takes off the play, ball 1. So we'll just have to wait and see. They're also under the heading wait and see would include the name Jerry Hairston. They're hoping that his hamstring will loosen up. Jerry is in uniform on the bench, busily engaged in conversation, so they don't want to put him on the DL. Meanwhile, Uribe fouls one into the seats off first base, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. For Uribe, hitting less than 100 against left-hand pitching, but batting .341 against right-handers. So Juan with 7 RBIs. He has the tying run in Loney at second base with 1 out. A.J. Ellis hitting back of him on deck. Vogelsong out of a stretch. Ryan ready. And the 1-1 pitch swung on. High fly ball into left center, but playable. Pagan is there waiting, makes the catch, holding on at second base in Loney. So Uribe a long fly ball. And with 2 out, A.J. Ellis coming up. For Vogelsong, it's the way you might get away with things in spacious AT&T Park. In other words, a long double by Ethier, a long fly ball by Rivera, a long double by Loney, a long fly ball out by Uribe. So far, he's getting away with it as Ethier watches alongside of Adam Kennedy. And here's A.J. Ellis. Has been more than a surprise. He has really been something. He's hitting .296, 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. You have to admire him. He came to spring training and his workload was overwhelming. He just worked and worked and worked and learned to block and block and block, and now he's been swinging the bat well. He takes high, ball 2. He's not at all afraid to get deep into the count, and it's reflected in the fact that he has 18 walks. So A.J. waiting. Vogelsong hands it his sides. Meanwhile, Loney takes a cautious lead at second, and the 2-0 pitch on the way is taken high. So it could be that Vogelsong is saying to himself, I'll give him a bad ball, and if I walk him, okay, then I'll get Kershaw. So Clayton Kershaw waiting on deck. And now they've decided to make it official. Let's just put him on. So the intentional walk is granted, the 19th walk that A.J. Ellis has picked up. Now you might say to yourself, well, what's so important about 19 walks? Well, what's very important for the number 8 hitter in a spot like this, you have the pitcher coming up next. Chances are the pitcher will make the final out of the inning. But you look ahead, and it means you get your leadoff man starting off the following inning. And the leadoff man in this case, D. Gordon. So those walks really count, if nothing else, but to push the lineup along. 2 on, 2 out, and a slow breaking ball at 77 in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Kershaw, a little handy with the bat. He is 2 for 10. He's a very good bunter, but you have 2 on and 2 out here. He has 4 sacrifices. Loney at second, Ellis at first. The next one to Clayton, swung on late and missed, and the count 0-2. Kershaw trying to wait on that breaking ball as best he could, then tried to flick it almost out of Posey's mitt. No balls and 2 strikes. 2-1 Giants, second inning. Vogelsong out of his stretch. Loney and Ellis take their leads. Strike 2 pitch to Kershaw, high, swung on and missed. A 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's that. But that walk to Ellis means Gordon leads off the third. At the end of 2-1 Giants. Night with a remarkable defensive play, starts tonight and doubles in a run in his first at bat against Ryan Vogelsong. So it's Giants 2, Dodgers 1. Ryan Theriot followed by Melky Cabrera and then Buster Posey. For Theriot, he is suffering a lot from pressure. He played for the Dodgers in 2010. Ryan was with the Cubs all the way back in 2005. But he's replacing the injured Freddie Sanchez, and it's just not happening for him. Theriot takes a strike. To illustrate, when Theriot flied to center in the first inning, he has 1 hit in his last 18 at-bats. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Ryan fouls that back, and the count 0-2. The plate umpire, Adrian Johnson, walking the ball out to the mound to give A.J. Ellis a chance. He got hammered on that foul ball. Adrian Johnson was the home plate umpire when Edwin Jackson with Arizona pitched a no-hitter at Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, Theriot waiting at the plate. Ryan played for the Dodgers back in 2010, batted .242, but he's hitting just .189 and takes low 1-2. So it's always tough. You're playing in place of a former National League batting champion in Freddie Sanchez, and you're just not hitting a lick. Terrio swings, pulls it foul outside of third and down the line. Ryan, 33, come December, went to school at LSU, was a third-round pick by the Chicago Cubs. When he was about 4, and you can just imagine it, he used to put eye black on the cheekbones, pull up his pants, and be the bat boy for his big brother's club. He grounds to Loney, who feeds Kershaw, and just like that, we have one away here in the third inning. You know, you can follow the Dodgers with MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. All you do, text at bat to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. Melky Cabrera looped out to Mark Ellis. Cabrera, the number 3 hitter, replacing the injured Pablo Sandoval. And Bruce Bochy says Cabrera is the perfect number 3 hitter. He's batting .317, and he can do everything for you. The 1-0 pitch is taken a little high and away. Melky Cabrera from the Dominican. He hits an awful lot of ground balls, but he did hit 18 home runs for the Royals last year. He takes his strike. 2-1 the count to Melky. He'll be 28 in August, originally signed by the Yankees. 2-1 pitch, and Cabrera takes in the dirt, ball 3. When Bruce Bochy was talking about Melky, saying he's the ideal number 3 hitter, it's reflected. He is number 2 in the highest number of productive outs, advancing a runner from second base. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Melky hesitates, takes a strike, 3-2. Melky surprised his mom and dad. They thought he was going to be an engineer or a doctor. They really didn't want him to play baseball. 3-2, waved at. The location fooled him. It was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but that's not what got him. It was down and on the outside part of the plate. He wasn't looking there, and he just lunged, and by that time, the ball was just about in Ellis' mitt. Third strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. And we have 2 out in the third inning, and Buster Posey, who hit the first pitch for a base hit in the second inning, at the plate. Kershaw's pitch, first ball, grounded to short. Up with it there is Gordon, a low throw. Loney's at the other end of it. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Clayton Kershaw. And at the end of 2.5 innings, Giants 2, Dodgers 1. The Dodgers 2-1. It'll be D. Gordon, Mark Ellis, and then Matt Kemp. By the way, if we can find him, we're talking about Rick Honeycutt, the Dodger pitching coach. Rick and his wife Debbie are grandparents for the 4th time, as Ricky's son Rick and wife Stephanie presented them with a bouncing baby boy. They live in Georgia, so heartiest congratulations to Rick Honeycutt and Debbie, grandparents for the 4th time. Meanwhile, bottom of the 3rd inning, and it'll be D. Gordon to start it off. Mark Ellis and Matt Kemp. Vogelsong ready and deals in the first pitch. Curveball that drops in nicely for a strike. Gordon hitting .234. Hit what appeared to be just a ground ball to first baseman Belt, but he beat the throw to Vogelsong. Strike 1 pitch on the way is off the plate. Vogelsong, in a sense, is living up to his pattern. He usually gets hit early in his first 50 pitches. In fact, from 1 to 25, the league is hitting .333 against him. After 50 pitches, the opposition is hitting .182. Ground ball to short. Crawford up with it, throws him out easily. And just like that, one away in the 3rd inning. For Vogelsong, he also has to be a little shocked, because while he is pitching, the innings, while he is actively in the game, the Giants are averaging 1.8 runs for him. Well, they got him 2 in the 2nd inning, and that was the home run by Brett Pill with Posey aboard. So bottom of the 3rd, 1 away, 2-1 Giants, and Mark Ellis, who hit into somewhat of an unusual double play, shows bunt, takes ball 1. With Gordon at first, and Gordon starting to going, and since Ellis is a right-hand batter, you expect the second baseman to break and cover. But instead, they had the shortstop Crawford breaking to cover, and Ellis pulled the ball to Arias, the 3rd baseman. So Arias wasn't throwing to the second baseman, he was throwing to the shortstop, and Crawford then turned the double play to first. A little unusual. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Mark Ellis. Bottom of the 3rd, 2-1 Giants. Over the top with a pretty good fastball that sneaks in there for a strike, and the count 1-2. Vogelsong so far tonight made 35 pitches in the first 2 innings. Here's the 1-2 pitch, foul back. In his last start, he made 30 pitches in the first inning. He made 49 pitches in the first 2 innings, and then averaged only 12 pitches per inning the next 5. So Ryan, who's been pitching professionally a long time, since 1998, turns on the rubber, and the 1-2 pitch on the way in the dirt, and a 2-ball 2-strike count to Mark Ellis. Vogelsong trying to rub a wrinkle in a new ball. Early in spring training, Ryan hurt his back. He was lifting weights, and he missed a couple of weeks of spring training, so he has problems. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on, lined into the gap, cutting it off, trying to as Pagan does, and after making a big turn, Ellis holds on, and Mark Ellis continues to do what we talked about last night. When he comes up with the bases empty, he's hitting about .360. When he comes up with men on base, he's hitting around 100. And he hit into a double play with a man on in the first inning, and with the bases empty, 1 out, he promptly singles to left center field. So that'll bring up Matt Kemp. Pretty nice play by Angel Pagan to hold that ball to a single. So Vogelsong had now made 44 pitches, and he's working on Kemp, who grounded to short in the first inning. It's 2-1 Giants, bottom of the 3rd, 1 out. Ellis off the bag at first, held on by Belt, and Matt looks at a strike on the outside corner, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. Outfield on Matt straight away. In right field, Cabrera might be up a couple of steps, but only a couple. The strike one pitch to Matt Kemp fouled away off first upstairs, and the count 0-2. For Matt Kemp, anytime he is called upon to do anything right now, it no doubt scares Don Mattingly. Mattingly took him out of the game last night with a comfortable lead. But as Don said, I hold my breath that nothing goes awry as far as Matt's hamstring. 0-2 the count. Ellis short lead at first, and now Matt backs out. The dreaded infield fly flying around his face, so he had to wave it off. 0-2 the count. Vogelsong, a long look into Posey, who's shuffling cards behind the plate. And a long shuffle it is, too. And he's still shuffling. And Vogelsong backs off. Kemp backs out. I mean, that's a full deck that Posey is handling down there behind home plate. 0-2 the count. The next pitch to Matt way inside. Almost hit him. And, of course, that's a scare for Mattingly. That's exactly how Kemp could re-injure the hamstring. Staggering back on a pitch way inside. Pitch just ran in on him. He had a jackknife and then keep his balance and very gingerly bounce away. 1-2 the count to Matt Kemp. Mattingly draped on the railing in front of the Dodger dugout. Ellis off the bag at first. And with one out, the 1-2 pitch to Matt Kemp swung on and fouled back, and a 90-mile-an-hour pitch came inside. Before the game, with Sue Falsone, the trainer, watching Matt to make sure that he's properly loosened up, that he's not going to have a tight hamstring that might pull. But it is a very, very dangerous time. I don't know about you. I'd rather see Sue jump than Matt, but Matt's getting in his work. One out, bottom of the third, 2-1 Giants. Vogelsong ready and deals in the dirt. Nice save by Posey. Ellis holding, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Buster Posey. Just imagine his college coach at Florida State. He's got an All-American shortstop, and he convinces him to be a catcher. Why? Because he felt that Buster was such a strong, talented, and natural leader, he would have a major effect on the team as a catcher. And of course, when he came up in 2010, that's exactly what he did for the Giants. 2-2 to Matt. Here comes Vogelsong. Ellis going, and it's fouled back. So it's still 2-2. So they play hit and run with Matt Kemp, and the count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. We haven't seen Vogelsong hit 94, but he has been around 90. Ryan, 6'3", 215-pounder. Posey again wigwagging some signs. You know, it's hard to see the fingers from Posey unless you have a close-up. 2-2 pitch, and there's a ground ball into left field. Base hit. Ellis stops at second. The reason I bring it up, we'll take a normal shot, but the infielders, second baseman and shortstop, they would really love to know whether it's going to be a fastball or a curveball so that they can lean, cheat a little bit in one direction or the other. But when we look in there, it's pretty hard to see his fingers unless we really take a close-up like now. But just imagine you're the shortstop or you're the second baseman and you're peering in there, and yet they say they can read them. I've heard outfielders say that they can read them, and sometimes infielders would relay fastball or breaking ball to the outfielder. So the pitch now way inside as Andre Ethier gets his left leg out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. So this, in a sense, is no surprise. Ryan Vogelsong usually has a bad time the first 50 pitches. Right now, he has made 52 pitches, and he has allowed 5 hits and 1 run, plus a walk. So Efe waiting, and the 1-0 pitch coming up. Fastball grounded to short. Crawford, the quick feed to Terrio, back to first, and Vogelsong gets the double play. So for Efe, double or nothing. He doubled in the second, double play in the third, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Giants. Water. Chevy runs deep. And by Farmer John. Taste the local flavors. We go to the 4th inning on a lovely evening here in the ballpark. A reminder, tomorrow night, the final game of the series with the Giants. Tim Lincecum and Chad Billingsley. 0-1 the count to Brett Pill. Billingsley on the rail, making his mental notes to be used tomorrow night. 0-2 the count to Pill, who hit that first pitch for a home run. Pill is the fella. His first hit in the big leagues was a home run, though they started to call him Pill the Thrill. That's missed at the plate, missed by the hitter, and going to first base is Brett Pill. So Pill safely aboard after hitting a home run in his first major league at bat, a homer tonight, and now he'll reach on what we assume is a strikeout passed ball. So for A.J. Ellis, he's been handling a lot of movement from Ted Lilly and now Kershaw, and charged with a passed ball. It's also 4 strikeouts for Kershaw. Joaquin Arias, out of the Dominican, originally drafted by the Yankees. When they signed him, the players called him Spider-Man because he was 16 years old and he weighed 140 pounds. Arias now is 6'1" and maybe after a full Thanksgiving dinner 170, maybe. Meanwhile, Pablo Sandoval, and boy do they miss him. 20-game hitting streak, 5 home runs, provides all the power, and he's out for quite a while. Little pop-up, Loney is there. He'll let it drop, then tags the runner, steps on the bag, and they get the double play. Heads-up play by James Loney, and there wasn't much that Brett Pill could do about it. Pill figured Loney was going to catch it. The only gamble is that the ball hits the ground and takes a bad hop. But see, Pill has nowhere to go. Loney spears it, tags him, and then just goes to the bag. So it's an unassisted double play. So a heads up by Loney. And with 2 out, the batter will be Brandon Belt, who walked in the second inning. And he hits a curveball in the air to Ethier, and that'll be that. No runs, no hits, thanks to Loney. Nobody left. 6 pitches for Kershaw, but it's still Giants 2, Dodgers 1. John Mattingly, who knows all about playing first base, comes over to talk to him. The gamble is if that pop fly lands and hits a pebble, and of course that can happen, and instead of it bouncing straight back up where you can glove it, it could easily veer away, and then you got a mess. But there's the nice bounce right into his glove. So the play went his way for sure. It was a gamble, and he got away with it. Loney also doubled in the Dodger run tonight, so he's on a roll right now. It'll be Rivera, Loney, and Uribe in that order. Bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Giants. 0-1. So for Vogelsong, a couple of things have come true. He's been hit a little bit in the first 3 innings. That figures. That's where he usually makes most of his pitches. And as usual, the Giants give him 2 if he's lucky, and that's it. Vogelsong came in 0-2, but he deserves better than that. He was an all-star, in case you forgot, last year. Last year he was 2-1 against the Dodgers, and he is 2-2 lifetime. Ryan Vogelsong. 1 ball and 1 strike. Off speed, hit the third. Nice pick by Arias, and the routine out. 1 away in the 4th inning, and the batter will be James Loney. Loney doubled to the gap in left center to drive in Ethier, who had doubled to the gap in right center, and that's the Dodger run. Giants got 2 in a hurry on 2 pitches in the 2nd inning. Kershaw, first pitch to Posey, line drive single. First pitch to Pill, home run. Loney hitting .207. Dodgers really hoping to get him started. Loney's real struggle, he's hitting a little more than a buck against left-hand pitchers. Ball 1. Vogelsong has now made 57 pitches. That's a strike. According to his pattern now, after 50 pitches, Vogelsong gets tougher and tougher and tougher. So we'll see if that holds up. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's in there. 88-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2. Ryan grew up not too far from Baltimore, and since he was an infielder in those days, he idolized Cal Ripken. Fastball on the hands, a little pop foul. Arias plenty of room. Though we have 2 out in the 4th, and Juan Uribe coming up.
Third baseman, number 5, Juan Uribe.
One thing Uribe has done is sparkle here at Dodger Stadium for whatever reason. When he came up to the plate in the 2nd inning, and he flied to center, but he was hitting .350 here at Dodger Stadium and hitting a little over .340 against right-handers. Ball 1. Giants 2, Dodgers 1, bottom of the 4th. 2 out, bases empty. Tomorrow night, Chad Billingsley and Tim Lincecum. Fouled away. Lincecum has to be thrilled that he has drawn Billingsley instead of Clayton Kershaw, because Kershaw was able to beat Kershaw was able to beat Lincecum 4 times last year. Admittedly, every game was so tough. Foul ball. What were the scores in those games? 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 1-0. But this time Kershaw draws Vogelsong and Lincecum draws Billingsley. 1-2 to Juan Uribe. Pull foul, off speed, and then it looked like off speed, and then that thing just hurried up to the plate, and Uribe really turned on it. Shaking his head. I think he feels he should have really drilled that pitch. 1-2 the count. And a fly ball down the line, a trio of Giants. Arias is there, and that'll do it for Uribe and for the Dodgers. And Vogelsong has given notice now. He figures to get tough from here on in. It's 2-1 Giants. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy all the things you love better. Internet, TV, and home phone from Time Warner Cable. Giants lead the Dodgers 2-1. Clayton Kershaw coming off a 6-pitch inning in the 4th. And Clayton ready to work to Brandon Crawford, Ryan Vogelsong, and then Angel Pagan. By the way, the big story so far tonight, in case you joined us a little late, that's a ground ball to Ellis, one away, is the fact that Josh Hamilton of Texas had 4 home runs and a double, 18 total bases. But the oddity, each home run came with 1 man aboard, the same man each time, Elvis Andrus. He was on for each 2-run home run. A reminder of Joe Torre, the time he set a major league record when he played for the Mets, and Joe grounded into 4 double plays. Each time Felix Millan, hitting ahead of him, had led off with a single. Torre had the great line where he said, "I couldn't have set the record without Millan." Well, boy, Josh Hamilton, he had to thank Elvis Andrus. And one other note, not only did Hamilton hit 4 home runs tonight, in his last at bat last night, he hit a 2-run home run. So the rather remarkable Josh Hamilton, and a huge night in Baltimore. 1-2 the count. 2-1 Giants, 5th inning. Vogelsong sacrificed his previous at bat. Giants not only scored 2 in the 2nd inning, they had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 out. They pitched to Pagan with Terrio on deck, and Pagan struck out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball jammed him at 93, and Vogelsong was still able to make contact. Remember, Kershaw has won 12 straight here at Dodger Stadium, and he has won 10 straight anywhere and everywhere. Fastball popped in the air. Ellis is there. And 2 out. You know, you can join the Dodgers Saturday the 19th for Dodger Stadium 50th Anniversary Fan Fest, presented by State Farm. There'll be autographs, music, live entertainment, games, and a lot more. Gates will open at 12 prior to the game with the Cardinals at 7:10, and entry is included with your ticket to the game. So be sure to visit Dodgers.com/50th. Ah, yes, father and son. Dinner time in the ballpark. A strike to Pagan. And a napkin. And don't forget to use it. Little flare. Ellis going out. Makes the catch. So another quick inning for Clayton Kershaw. 5 pitches, and it's still Giants 2 and Dodgers 1. Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus today. Visit Lexus.com. And by Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Bottom of the fifth inning, it's still 2-1 in favor of the Giants. A.J. Ellis, Clayton Kershaw, and then D. Gordon in that order. Ellis, with a 3-0 count, they decided to walk him intentionally in the second inning, and they used Kershaw as the escape hatch and struck him out. Right. A.J. hitting .296, 2 home runs, and 11 runs batted in. Oh, and 1. And a fly ball into right center. It looks to be the right fielder Cabrera. So Melky puts it away. 1 out. And the batter now, Clayton Kershaw. And again, all the advanced scouting on Ryan Vogelsong is holding up. He's wobbly the first couple of innings, especially in the first 50 pitches. And then he gets tougher. Having allowed 5 hits and a run with 1 out in the third inning, he's now retired 5 in a row, getting the big out, the double play from Ethier to close out the third. That's a strike. Clayton struck out in the second inning. 0-1. Clayton fighting himself to hold off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two to 1 Giants. 1 out, 5th inning. Fastball, missed ball 2. 2-1. Vogelsong, who was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, lives in North Grafton, Massachusetts. Two and 1. Ground ball to Brandon Crawford. Makes that play. And we have 2 down in the 5th inning. And the batter will be D. Gordon. You know, you can come to Dodger Stadium on Tuesday, May 15th at 7:10, Dodgers and Diamondbacks, and you'll receive your very own Oral Hershiser bobblehead. Compliments of Coca-Cola. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. You know, it's a great bobblehead. If we could look at it again, some of them don't really look like the person that the bobblehead is made. That one on the right and the look here, I mean, that's Oral. Okay, 2 down. Here's D. Gordon. Infield single, grounded out. Ball 1. One and 1 the count. Two out, 5th inning. 2-1 Giants. That's in there. 1-2 the count to Gordon. Vogelsong has retired 6 in a row after the ground single by Kemp in the 3rd inning. And a lazy fly ball in the gap, and it will be the left fielder Pill. So he is settled in at figured, retiring 7 in a row. Ryan walks off at the end of 5, leading 2-1. babbling about Fernando Valenzuela. He was pitching against the New York Mets. He beat them 1-0, but it was a very tough game. Oh, sure, he struck out 11, but he also gave up 7 hits and walked 5. So he was in a lot of trouble, and yet he went on to win his 7th in a row. He went on to win the Cy Young Award and Rookie of the Year that year as well. Let's go back to this one. Two to one in favor of the Giants. Ryan Theriot, Melky Cabrera, Buster Posey. And a strike. So Theriot is 0 for 2 and 1 for 19. One ball, one strike. The 93-mile-an-hour fastball that was up a little. 2-1 to count to Ryan. And he hits it to right center, but it's slicing, so it's a room service ball, and it comes to Andre Ethier. And for Theriot, you know how badly he wants a hit. He's now 1 for 20. And you know, you might say, oh, well, 1 for 20. But he's a big leaguer. He has to worry at night. They're going to send me out, send me down. You can understand, really, a fellow like Aubrey Huff having an anxiety attack. A shattered bat, a ground ball smothered, but it gets away from Uribe. So Melky Cabrera has the bat disintegrate, but he'll take it. It's a base hit.
Number 28, Buster Posey.
So Buster Posey will be coming up with Melky Cabrera at first. Uribe maddeningly unable to hold on to it, and Cabrera over there at first. Cabrera runs very well, though not only are they worrying about Posey, they have to worry about Melky. He stole 20 bases last year for the Royals. So we'll see what they do with Posey. He singled and grounded out. They might run Cabrera basically because Posey is very much of a ground ball hitter. And they might run him to try to avoid a double play. Let's see. Ball one. You know how they really track players. Posey hits statistically 2.5 ground balls for any ball he hits in the air. So Cabrera with the Giants leading 2-1. And a drive to left. No ground ball, but going back to handle it is Rivera. And Cabrera goes back to first. So Posey had grounded out his last time up. This time a line drive out. Brett Pill homered and struck out, reached on the pass ball. So far, Kershaw 68 pitches. He's had 2 very easy innings. 6 pitches in the 4th, 9 pitches in the 5th, and only 10 pitches really in the first inning. Now with 2 out, you wonder about Cabrera going for sure. The Giants, however, are not a running ball club, but Flannery looking across, checking the dugout. Cabrera has stolen 5 out of 7, and Pagan has stolen 5 out of 6, and that's it. They just don't run very much. If you wanted to scrape the cream off the top about the Giants, you could sum it up. They don't strike out much. They get a lot of ground balls. They get a lot of infield hits. When they score, they're usually on the road. They don't steal bases. We mentioned that. They don't walk very often. For Bruce Bochy, his bench is not strong. They don't bunt very well either. Yet, with all those negatives, they are in second place. Line drive foul, and that thing was ripped. Brett Pill hitting .278, 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. One of the problems for Bruce Bochy and his club, the Giants don't usually score late and in close situations. They've lost 7 games by 1 run. 0-2 to Brett Pill. Oh, did he get fooled on that slow breaking ball? So no runs, a broken bat single, and a man left. And at the end of 5 1/2, 2-1 Giants. Has worked 6 innings and made 71 pitches. Vogelsong has worked 5 innings, has made 75 pitches. It's 2-1 in favor of the Giants. And maybe a big difference, the fact that Kershaw struck out 5, Vogelsong has struck out just 1. So for the Dodgers, it'll be Mark Ellis, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier. In following Vogelsong, one of his problems have been the hitters early in the inning. In other words, the leadoff hitter or the next hitter, and he's got a couple of tough ones here. Ellis, who does unbelievably well with the bases empty, will lead off. Then you have Kemp followed by Ethier. So this a very big inning for Ryan Vogelsong. 0-1. Fastball at the knees. 0-2. Hitters leading off an inning against Vogelsong, they're hitting .320. Tonight, Gordon got a single. Ethier double leading off. 1-2 to Mark out of Rapid City, South Dakota. Born there, still lives there. But when he went to school, he went to the University of Florida. Probably to thaw out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Off the plate. Ellis with a solid .272 batting average. chopper to short. Crawford is on it. One away. So all the numbers are holding up. The things that we were talking about as far as Ryan Vogelsong. Little trouble in the first 3 innings. He's now retired 8 in a row. And the batter is Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp grounded to short and single to left. Batting .408. Off speed and a little high. Well, when you have Matt up there with his 12 home runs, you wonder about Vogelsong or any other pitcher. And we can tell you that Vogelsong has allowed 2 home runs. Matt Cain's allowed 5. Off speed, hit right at Crawford. So Matt Kemp, a bullet at shortstop. 2 down. And the batter will be Andre Ethier. The speed gun must have gone haywire. Oh, that was an off-speed pitch, and they put up 101. Now Andre Ethier doubled and hit into a double play. He eventually scored the Dodger run, but that was back in the 2nd inning. 9 in a row retired since Kemp singled in the 3rd inning. Off speed and away. That change at 77. One ball and no strikes. And big swing and a pop fly. Crawford out, makes the catch. So Vogelsong is living up to every scouting report we had on him. He's now retired 10 in a row, and it's still 2-1 Giants. To the 7th, and Josh Hamilton is not the only one hitting home runs. In Arizona, it's been the Carlos Beltran show. Carlos hit a 2-run home run in the 1st, a grand slam home run in the 2nd, both of Ian Kennedy. Jake Westbrook has made it stand up. Cardinals lead 6-0 over Arizona in the 9th inning. That's a strike to Arias. By the way, the Cardinals will be here on the weekend of the 18th and the 19th, plus the 20th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kershaw has allowed 1 hit since the 2nd inning, and that's when the Giants scored their 2. Curveball, 1-2 the count to Joaquin Arias. Clayton has made 74 pitches right now. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Giants, 1 run, 5 hits for the Dodgers. Going after that bad ball down, and Arias strikes out a second time. Arias has to really shake his head. Not only has he struck out twice, he's the one who hit the pop fly, and Loney let it drop and turned it into a double play. Now Brandon Belt, hitting .273. However, not living up to that last name, Belt. No home runs. A strike. Last year he hit 9 for the Giants, so he's capable. And he's a big fella. He's 6'5", 220, out of the University of Texas. Big, slow curveball. He took such a big stride at the plate. He was locked. He couldn't do anything about it. 0-2. Take a look. See that big stride? And he couldn't possibly do anything but take the curveball for a strike. 0-2. And a high fly ball into right center and deep. Kemp going back. Ethier going back. It's Kemp at the wall. Boy, that was close on a no ball, 2 strike count. 2 out. Just failed to carry. In fact, when he hit it, it didn't look like it was going to go that far. So Matt runs it down. Brandon a little frustrated back in the dugout. And here's Brandon Crawford, who singled and grounded out. Fastball strike. So from that big slow 75-mile-an-hour curveball for a strike to Belt, he comes back with a fastball at 94. 0-1 to Brandon. 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned earlier it's UCLA night, and he went to school at UCLA. Giants picked him up 2008 in the 4th round. A very, very good defensive shortstop who has not shown anything with the bat. Hitting .205. Last year, in his first year with the Giants, he hit .204. Two balls and 2 strikes. We're in the 7th, 2 out, 2-1 Giants. Fouled away. By the way, when the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th inning, Rivera, Loney, and Uribe. Little ground ball. Mark Ellis picks it. That'll be that. So 5 in a row retired by Clayton Kershaw. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 Giants. And the crowd will be asked to stand and join in God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome back Nisha Go.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home.
short game.
Giants holding on to a 2-1 lead when Brett Pill homered in the second inning. It was a bam because Posey hit the first pitch for a base hit to left, and then Pill hit the first pitch for a home run. That's for the Giant offense tonight, and Ryan Vogelsong is trying to make it stand up, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. He's retired the last 10 in a row since Kemp singled back in the third inning. Juan Rivera flied to center, grounded to third, 0 for 2. Missed with that fastball inside, ball 1. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Giants. They never score any runs for Vogelsong. And the Dodgers 1 run, 5 hits. Crack bat, 1 hopper off the backhanded attempt by Crawford. So Rivera's aboard. You could hear the bat crack, and of course it'll be a base hit. So that breaks the string. Ball was hit hard. Crawford tried to come over and backhand that hot potato, but it went by. 6 hits now for the Dodgers, and the first one since Kemp back in the third inning. So the tying runs aboard, and you have Loney, Uribe, and Ellis coming up in that order. Loney doubled in the Dodger run and fouled out. We're in the 7th, down in the Dodger bullpen. Javi Guerra, who is not the closer at least right now, Javi is warming up. A lot of times it would be Jansen warming up for the 8th inning and Javi to pitch the 9th. They might reverse their roles tonight. That's a strike to Loney. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw has made 84 pitches. Not striking out a bunch. He has struck out 6. And a tough 2-1 game. 0-1 to Loney. 0-2 James. It appeared to be trying to uppercut that, and the ball was up anyway. 0-2. Rivera is not going to give you any running over there at first. No stolen bases. He's been caught twice on busted hit and run plays. 1-2 the count. Vogelsong is due to lead off the 8th inning when the Giants come up. Bosey, a former catcher in his day, watching his pitches so very carefully. Line drive, base hit. Rivera will stop at second. So all of a sudden in the 7th inning, after having retired 10 in a row, Vogelsong gives up the single to Rivera and the single to Loney. Dodgers at first and second, nobody out. Juan Uribe followed by A.J. Ellis and then Clayton Kershaw. The Giants, who of course had Uribe, had him the year that he had the 24 home runs, and they certainly are not looking for Uribe to bunt. Arias is around the neighborhood of third base. 2 on, nobody out. 2-1 Giants. Bottom of the 7th. Uribe showing bunt and bunts. Posey goes to third. They get one. Back to first. They get a double play. So Juan Uribe, who never bunts, is asked to bunt and bunts into a double play. 2-5-3. Fine play by Buster Posey to start it. Down to second base goes Loney. Watch Posey. He's on it. There's one, and then the strong throw by Arias, and a good stretch by Belt for the double play. 2-5-3. So Rivera is erased, and now the batter is A.J. Ellis with Loney at second base. And ball 1. Well, when the Giants took the field tonight, you knew one thing just by looking at the lineup, looking at the position players. You had the feeling that Bochy decided after last night's game that he was going to go with his strength, which is defense. And so far, so good for him, leading 2-1. Fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Vogelsong had to get a lift on that bunt for a double play. For Uribe, he did have 1 sacrifice this year. One ball, 1 strike. Now Posey out to talk to Vogelsong, so timeout for the moment. Rivera opened up with a shot by Brandon Crawford. Then Loney single sharply to right. Then Uribe bunts into the double play, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count to A.J. Ellis. Clayton Kershaw is on deck. Javi Guerra has stopped throwing in the bullpen. One and one. Ball 2. You also have the thought right now, if you're Bochy, you're looking over thinking, if I put Ellis aboard, will they bat for Kershaw? The Dodgers' #1 pinch hitter would be the left-hand hitting Adam Kennedy, but that issue should be settled right now. Pop fly to Terrier, and that's it. So the double play on the bunt wrecked the Dodgers in the 7th, and at the end at 7, 2-1 Giants. having bunted into a double play. You might be interested to know that Uribe, who has a sacrifice this year, that's the only sacrifice he has had since 2009. Before that, he bunted a lot, going all the way back to 2001. But it's just not something that he normally does, and it hurt the club. Tony Gwynn now takes over in left field for Juan Rivera. Clayton Kershaw will be pitching to Ryan Vogelsong, followed by Angel Pagan and Ryan Theriot. Oh and 1. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Giants. Actually, if you weren't here, back-to-back. Single by Posey, home run by Pill. Kershaw made 2 pitches in the second inning, and it cost him 2 runs. 0 and 1. Ground foul, 0 and 2. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, Kershaw would be due to lead off. Vogelsong has sacrificed and popped up. So 1 away. That's strikeout number 7 for Clayton Kershaw.
Center field, number 16.
7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Now Angel Pagan. Pagan came in here with a 20-game hitting streak. As of right now, he is 0 for 8 in the 2 games. So it shows you how your fortunes can change in a hurry. Curveball and a beauty. Wow. Only 73 miles an hour. Well, that's a rainbow curve with a pot of gold at the end of it for sure. Then the fastball away. 1 and 1. Fastball and missed. Last year, these 2 teams split the 18. Dodgers won 5 out of 9 here. Giants won 5 out of 9 up there. In the last 2 years, last 10 years, Dodgers have won 94 and the Giants 92. Well, they have really been head to head. Two and 2 to Pagan. Giants have 1 hit, an infield single, a broken bat single since the second inning. Curveball and a fly ball down the line. Hooking foul back in the stand. Kershaw is pitching so much better than in the first 2 innings. If you were with us then, several times he was out of rhythm. He actually, in his follow through, turned his back on home plate. It looked on a couple of pitches that he was throwing instead of pitching. But ever since the second inning, he has found his rhythm and he's done very well. 2 and 2. Fastball, dribbler, Kershaw, awkward leap and throws it away. No turn by the runner. So Pagan is safely aboard. They'll probably give it a base hit, and they will. So an infield single for Angel. So he's now 1 for 9 in the 2 games. Bruce Bochy is coming out to check and make sure that Pagan is okay. And apparently he did something. They spotted it from the bench. No doubt about that. They just immediately got him out of there.
Attention, please.
Gregor
Please,
Blanco, an outfielder we
Gregor
saw
Blanco.
late in the game last night. Let's watch. He seemed to slow up and then hit the bag awkwardly, and now you can tell that he hurt himself. So Pagan coming out. Blanco will run and then stay in the game. And here's Ryan Theriot. Gregor Blanco does have a stolen base. He's 1 for 2. Ground ball to the right side to Ellis. They're going to get 1. They will get 2. And for Ryan Theriot, he now has 1 hit in his last 21 at-bats. No runs a hit, no one left, and at the end of 7.5, 2-1 Giants. A burger made with 100% Black Angus beef. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-1 Giants. To look ahead, tomorrow night, Tim Lincecum against Chad Billingsley, and all these are on prime ticket. So tomorrow with the Giants. On the weekend, the Rockies. Friday at 7, Saturday at 6, and Sunday at 1 o'clock. Following the Rockies coming in here, the Dodgers then have 2 games with Arizona. Then they briefly go to San Diego. Melky Cabrera moves over to left field. Gregor Blanco, running for Pagan, stays in the game in center. And Nate Schierholz goes into the game in right. So if you're keeping score, Blanco ran for Pagan. Schierholz will go in Pill's spot. And here now is Bobby Abreu off the bench, batting for Kershaw. Abreu hitting .300, made his debut at Dodger Stadium as a Dodger last night, and doubled to left field in his first at bat. Blanco way over to left center. So really for Abreu, straight away and right center wide open. 1 ball and no strikes. A broken bat and a foul ball. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count. So Bobby Abreu, a remarkable hitter for so many years, as that thing just disintegrates. Abreu started with the Astros, came up in 1996. And we mentioned the fact that he had 14 years where he played 150 games or more. What a valuable player he was and still is. Bobby is 38, so maybe the bat speed isn't as quick as it used to be, but he has never forgotten how to hit. Kershaw made 94 pitches before giving way to Abreu. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1. Ball 2. Abreu had some very big years. He had as many as 31 home runs. He had as many as 110 runs batted in. He had a marvelous career just with the Phillies from 1998 through 2006. 2-2. He's from Aragua in Venezuela. That's a town near Maracay, and the rainforest is right outside your back door. When he started, he went to the Astros Academy, and he weighed about 127 pounds. Bobby is an even 6 and weighs 215 pounds. Abreu's name, to show you what kind of a career he has had, is linked with Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner. 5 years with 100 RBIs and 30 stolen bases. Yeah, that's right. He runs well. Just off the plate. Another thing about Abreu, he usually gets deep in the count. Three and 2. And ball 4. So Abreu comes off the bench and picks up really the first walk. Vogelsong walked Ellis intentionally way back in the 2nd inning. Be sure to give the gift of Dodger baseball. Bring your mom to Dodger Stadium Sunday, Mother's Day. Fans will receive Andre Ethier tote bags, compliments of Murad skincare, and after the game, mothers and families invited down to the field to enjoy a little walk around the park. So visit Dodgers.com/promotions today. Here is Gordon, and we'll see now if the Dodgers, down by 1, play sacrifice. Arias looks bunt, and they're going to keep an eye on Abreu. Gordon, an infield single, grounded out, flied out, 1 for 3, hitting .230. The bunt, and it's a good one. Vogelsong has to do nothing but eat it. Ryan Vogelsong apparently could not throw the ball. All there is to it. So Gordon is given a base hit, and take a look at Vogelsong, picks it up, and then nothing happened. Maybe he lost his grip and he was afraid he'd really throw it away. But he should have made that play. So the Dodgers now, without doing very much, have 1st and 2nd and nobody out. Dave Righetti has gone out to talk to Vogelsong, and the Dodgers have Mark Ellis, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier. So the Giants in the 8th inning, remember, had a runner on with 1 out, and they had the slumping Terrio swing away with Melky Cabrera on deck, and Terrio hit into a double play. So that was a huge decision for San Francisco. Now let's see what the Dodgers do. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Mark Ellis, the batter. They are moving around and starting to throw. Sergio Romo gets up in the Giant bullpen. Javi Guerra, Kenley Jansen have been up in the Dodger pen. So let's see about Ellis. Giants look bunt. And the bunt's on. The bunt is foul. 0-1. The last Dodger to bunt was Uribe, who bunted into the double play. Mark Ellis in the number 2 slot behind Gordon does not have a sacrifice this year. Then your thought is, well, if he sacrifices, will they put Kemp on and pitch to Ethier? Either way, as Matt says, you have your poison, take your choice. Off the plate, 1-1. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 8 hits for the Dodgers. Mark checking Wallach. Abreu at second, Gordon at first. Nobody out. Showing bunt. Got it down. The play is to first. Vogelsong almost pulled Terriot off the bag. So the sacrifice works. And now what do? You put Matt Kemp aboard and take your chances against Ethier. The crowd is hoping that they pitch to Kemp. And Posey is looking over at Bosey.
Number 27.
And they're going to walk him. They will walk Matt Kemp intentionally and roll the dice against Ethier. There you can see. So all because Vogelsong could not do anything with Gordon's bunt. He's up to his hips in trouble. And in a moment, the bases will be loaded with 1 out. Down in the Giant bullpen, Javi Lopez, a left-hander, begins to warm up. Well, it looks like Bosey is saying, I'll put Kemp on, and I'll bring in a left-hander to face Andre Ethier. And that certainly is understandable, although Ethier has improved dramatically against left-hand pitching. Andre came into this game hitting .292 against left-handers. So in a moment, he will have his opportunity. 3-0 the count to Kemp. This will be the 3rd walk in the inning. Remember, he went 3-2 to Abreu and walked him. All right. So the bases are loaded. 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. 2-1 Giants. And here comes Andre Ethier. And we will have the meeting, of course, at the mound, so we'll be right back. by Carl's Jr. $6 burgers made with 100% Black Angus beef. And by Dodge. Visit us at Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. Dodgers perhaps playing a little psychological warfare with the Giants. Ryan Vogelsong, who pitched very well, getting a welcome in the dugout as he goes out leading, but he could lose or have nothing to do with it. The bases are loaded with one out, and the batter will be Andre Ethier. And the reason we say the Dodgers playing a little psychology, they had the call on the Diamond Vision screen just a few moments ago of Andre Ethier hitting a grand slam home run. It might have been the one that he hit against San Diego last year. He has 3 of them. And as you can see, he's done very well against left-handers. Javi Lopez is from San Juan, Puerto Rico, lives in Colorado. The left-hander originally drafted by the Diamondbacks out of the University of Virginia. So you have Abreu, Gordon, and Kemp on the line. Big curveball, 0-1. Andre hitting .279, half a dozen home runs, 30 runs batted in. There's Abreu at third, Gordon at second, and Matt Kemp at first. 1 out, 2-1 Giants, bottom of the 8th. Sneaks a fastball in at 89 at the knees. 0-2. One thing about Javi Lopez, he has a very smart wife. She worked and picked up a PhD in counseling and psychology at the University of Tennessee. In the dirt. While she was studying, he was going to a lot of basketball games and working out at the gym at Tennessee. And as he said, it doesn't hurt to know Todd Helton. Javi, by the way, has his own degree in psychology from the University of Virginia. So bases loaded, 1 out, 2-1 Giants, 1 and 2 to Ethier. Ground ball to short. They get 1. And in the dirt, they get 2. So for the second time tonight, Andre Ethier grounds into a double play, and Vogelsong can leave leading 2-1 at the end of 8. Inning. Bobby Abreu, who batted for Kershaw, stays in the game and plays left field. Tony Gwynn moves over to right field, and Javi Guerra will pick up. He would bat in Ethier's spot. And by the way, I mean, we can certainly understand your frustration if you're a Dodger fan. Ethier hits into the double play. But it's also a moment to give credit to the opposition, and I'll tell you why. since Javi Lopez came to the Giants, and that would be 2010. He is the toughest left-hand pitcher against left-hand batters in the National League. You know what the left-hand hitters are hitting against Javi Lopez? Hold your breath. 146. Meanwhile, here's Cabrera. Ground ball at the hole, plugged up by Ellis. One pitch, one away in the ninth. So it's easy to be frustrated with the guy who makes the out, but once in a while you ought to have an idea about the fellow who induced him to make the out, and that's Javi Lopez. Buster Posey, single to left, grounded to short, lined out to left, 1 for 3. Good fastball, 96. Javi Guerra having some trouble as the closer, but he's a good kid, as he told Mattingly, I'll pitch any inning you want. Ground ball, Gordon, 2 out. If you are not keeping score, and you wonder about the Dodgers in the bottom of the ninth inning, they'll have Tony Gwynn, James Loney, Juan Uribe. So the first 2 hitters are left-handed, and we just finished telling you how tough Javi Lopez is against left-handers. And then Uribe. Nate Shearholtz, first at bat, hitting .268. Breaking ball strike, off speed at 78. Shearholtz came up to the Giants in 2007. He was originally selected back in 2003. Nate was a minor league bat boy as a little guy. Oh, 2. One and 2. Last year, Shearholtz had 9 home runs for the Giants. He homered in double figures about 6 times in the minor leagues. Ground ball inside third, off the backhanded effort. Uribe recovers, but no throw. Actually, Uribe saved a double. That'll be a single. So Joaquin Arias will be coming up after Shearholtz singles off Uribe's glove. Hit number 1 off Guerra. Joaquin Arias struck out twice, hit a pop fly. Loney allowed it to drop and then turned it into a double play. Ball 1. Arias, a good hitter, batting .314, 5 RBIs. Does not have a home run. He is not built for home runs. And a little flare to Loney, and that'll be that. All right, no runs, a hit, a man left. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Gwynn, Loney, and Uribe, 2-1 Giants. as last night. Last night a sloppy game. The Dodgers winning at 9-1. But tonight a thoroughly professional ball game with the Giants scoring 2 in the second. The Dodgers coming back with 1, and they've been locked that way ever since. 2-1 in favor of the Giants. Juan Uribe had a big at-bat. That was with 2 on and nobody out in the 7th inning. They chose to have Uribe bunt, and he bunted into a double play. Well, he'll be due to bat third in the 9th inning after Gwynn and Loney. Tony Gwynn hitting .255 against, as we said, about as tough a left-hand pitcher against left-hand hitters as there is in the league. And Andre Ethier would no doubt attest to that. Lopez is 6'4", about 205 pounds, and he'll be 35 in July. Giants pull up the corners looking bunt. And the strike, 0-1. With Lopez, fastball and a change, both a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, he got a strike away, then he missed inside. 1-1. Lopez signed by the Diamondbacks, then went to the Rockies, then spent 4 years with the Red Sox. That's a strike. One and two. Time. It's a pretty smart married couple. I mean, Javi has a degree in psychology. His wife a PhD in counseling and psychology. On the hands, a comebacker, gobbled up and one away. Nice play by Lopez. So Gwynn hits back to the box, and with 1 out, the batter will be James Loney. The Dodgers and Giants have been in a lot of tough games. Dodgers have already played 14 one-run games. They're 9-5. The Giants have played 13 one-run games. They're 6-7. The paid attendance tonight, 32,799. Ball 1. Loney doubled in the Dodger run in the 2nd inning, fouled out and singled to right. Little foul ball. 1-1 the count. On deck, the right-hand hitter in this inning, Juan Uribe. Loney also made the defensive play tonight when Arias popped one up with Hill at first base. Loney let the ball drop and turned it into a double play. 1-1 to James. Fastball and a ground ball to Terrio, backing up for a hop. Well, Javi Lopez got Ethier to hit into a double play. Now he's taking care of Gwynn and Loney. And now with Uribe coming up, Boshi is going to take out his left-hander and will bring in the hard-throwing Santiago Casilla. So Casilla will be coming in, and we'll be right back. was Jairo Garcia. Back in 2006, after all those years, he was Jairo Garcia. Then they found out, no, he's really Santiago Casilla, and he's 2 years and 10 months older than he said. Well, when it boils down to, he'll be 32 in July. He throws very hard. He's been clocked up to 99. He has a pretty good spike curve, slider, change, working on a splitter. And he is asked now to get Juan Uribe and end it. Uribe tonight flied to center, fouled out to third, and bunted into a double play. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Giants, 1 run, 8 hits for the Dodgers. All the scoring, not that there was very much, occurred in the second inning. So it's been Vogelsong, then Lopez, and now Casilla trying to get the last out. Lopez made it look easy. Faced 3 batters, got 4 outs, and made 11 pitches. So the game is on the line. And here's Uribe hitting .235. 7 runs batted in. And smoke. He starts him at 99. 0-1. Casilla is an even 6 feet and 190. 0-1. Fastball hit down to Terrio on the grass. That'll do it. So a completely different ball game and a completely different Giant team that was so sloppy last night, but they come roaring back with a solid performance tonight. The Giants 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 8 hits, and no errors. So they split the first 2 games of the series. Tomorrow night it'll be Tim Lincecum and Chad Billingsley. And remember now, for 10 years, the Dodgers have beaten the Giants 94 times, and the Giants have beaten the Dodgers 93 times. Tomorrow night, by the way, we'll be on over Prime Ticket. So that'll do it for now. We'll wish you all a very pleasant good evening.